Donald Trump kicked off his 2024 presidential bid with a series of campaign stops in key primary states and attacks on his main rival, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. And yet, even as Trump forges ahead with a 2024 bid that no one except his hardcore fans seems to want, everyone who actually has the power to stop him, whether it's his fellow Republicans or federal prosecutors, has refused to take action, hoping he'll magically go away, just like they did in 2016. For more on this, it's time for a closer look. The Republican Party is facing a reckoning right now over its future after its disastrous performances in 3 straight national elections, which have left the party weak, fractured, and rudderless. And who better to help with that reckoning than MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell? The Republican National Committee pledged to work with Lindell and keep him involved in the party's leadership after Lindell ran to become the chair of the RNC. Sadly, Lindell lost that election on Friday to current chair Ronna McDaniel. Or so they say. And I hope I don't sound too much like Mike Lindell when I say this, but I think he only lost because China, Hugo Chavez, the CIA, and Dominion teamed up to steal the election from him. And also, she may be ahead now, but sometimes slow and steady wins the race. Like in that story, The Tortoise and the Hare. I think in the end, I did sound a little like him. Anyway, Lindell lost, but he made it clear that he's still expected to be closely involved with the GOP leadership after a poll of Republican voters showed he was their favorite to take over the RNC.
We need to hold the RNC accountable. They did say, I will work with Mike Lindell. I can't wait to work with Mike Lindell. If Ronna said she would work, she would do a grassroots tour, but she also said, I'm looking forward to working with Mike Lindell. Steve, what do you think I've been working on for 2 years? So this is a wake-up call to them. You better wake up. I better get that phone call.
Okay, but word of advice, Mike, you need to be a little quieter or else you're not going to hear when that phone rings. I mean, just watch all these missed calls.
Let's look into it. What are they hiding, Steve? What are they hiding? They're running out of track where they're not going to be able to keep doing these dumps or it's going to be too obvious. Open it up and look what's in there. They're all the computers. They go horizontal, everybody.
And just to show that she was serious about keeping Lindell involved at the highest levels of the GOP, McDaniel made a show of inviting him on stage along with one other fellow candidate, former Trump campaign lawyer Harmeet Dillon, after McDaniel won, even calling Lindell a leader in the GOP.
Thank you. We gotta get Mike and Harmeet up here. Mike and Harmeet, can you please come up? Thank you for the race you ran, for the leaders you are in our party. We are so grateful for you. We need all of us. We heard you, grassroots, we know. We heard Harmeet, we heard Mike Lindell. But with us united and all of us going together, the Democrats are going to hear us in 2024 when we take back the White House and the Senate.
I mean, that's a dream team right there. Ronna McDaniel, who oversaw 3 straight blowout losses in 18, 20, and 22. Harmeet Dillon, legal advisor for Donald Trump's 2020 campaign, and a pillow salesman famous for getting his phone seized by the FBI at a Hardee's drive-thru. A real thing. A real thing that happened. This is a very real headline. In fact, the feds disguised themselves as the drive-thru menu. It was so weird for everyone who drove through before Lindell. Hey, are you a dude dressed up like a sign? Keep driving. No one expects to lose a phone at a drive-thru. There's no video of it, but we do have audio of Lindell's order after the seizure. Welcome to Hardee's. Can I take your order? I'll take a double cheeseburger and large fries and probably a dumb question, but do you guys sell phones? Should I tell him? That was me, you guys. I did both ones. Now, in case you forgot the specifics of this story, Lindell had his phone seized as part of an FBI investigation into a Republican county clerk in Colorado who tampered with voting equipment to investigate non-existent voter fraud. And despite that, Trump is still his friend and the chair of the Republican Party, says he should be involved in the party's leadership. I honestly can't think of any Democratic equivalent to this. Like, imagine if Joe Biden brought a guy on stage who sells compression socks and claims the moon is actually just a projection to distract people. All right, everybody, I'd like to introduce my sock CEO. Rick Cordell, great guy, great patriot. He makes great socks, and he says the moon isn't real. But we got room for a lot of ideas inside the Democratic Party. What's that? What's that, Rick? Now, okay, he's telling me Google Maps is an invention of lizard people. And these lizard people are using it to coordinate an attack. That's great stuff, Rick. That's why I don't use maps. I just wander around until someone tells me where to go. So that's the position the GOP finds itself in. They all want to pretend that Trump and his gang of weirdos are done, but they also don't think they have a future without them. For example, on the one hand, they keep insisting over and over that Trump is the past and that he can't win a general election.
Donald Trump, yeah, he kept saying, we're going to be winning so much, we'll get tired of winning. I'm tired of losing. I mean, that's all he's done.
Look, I don't think he can win in November of 24.
Trump is the past. He's fading fast. He's a proven loser. He cost us the House in 18. He cost us the White House in 20. He cost us the Senate again and again. And I think we all know that. And I think we're moving past Trump.
Does Trump win? I hope so. I love the guy. And a week ago, I would have said slam dunk. But after how last night shook out, I don't know now.
I've said over and over again that he can't win a general election. And that's not speculation. That's based upon the polling that I was privy to pre the 2020 election. And what we saw actually happen in the 2020 election. And it's only gotten worse since then. Then add to it what you saw happen in 2022. And I think Republicans are recognizing that.
Sure, Chris Christie, you maybe said it over and over, but that was after you said over and over he should be president and he should be reelected. You were one of the first elected Republicans to support him in 2016. You helped him prep for his debates in 2020. You even stood behind him at press conferences in 2016 like a presenter at the Golden Globes who had just handed him an award and forgot to get out of the shot. Chris, get off stage. Chris, get off. Get off stage. In fact, the parallels between how the GOP is treating Trump now and how they treated him in 2016 are pretty alarming. You might remember the exact same thing happening back then. Republicans kept insisting there was no way Trump could get enough support to win the primary, that he had a hard ceiling, that he would lose once the party coalesced around an alternative, and that he would definitely get crushed in a general election.
What you're seeing is a sense that the party is not going to coalesce around Donald Trump if he is the nominee.
If the Republican Party becomes the party of David Duke, Donald Trump, I'm out.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell told GOP colleagues they can drop Trump, quote, like a hot rock.
He's got a high floor and a low ceiling, in my opinion. I mean, Donald Trump has proven himself capable of getting 25 to 30%.
Donald has a hard ceiling of 35 to 40%.
There's a ceiling beyond which he cannot go, and that ceiling would not be 50%.
50% ceiling sounds like a feature that real estate mogul Donald Trump would try to sell when you complained about half the roof missing. You're complaining about the rain pouring into your apartment, but let me tell you, when it's sunny out, you're going to be thanking me for this 50% ceiling. Everybody loves a 50% ceiling on a run. Remember when everyone thought Trump had a ceiling, even though he literally started his campaign at the top of an escalator? I mean, look at that guy. It's really hard to believe now he was headed to the most powerful office in the world. He looks like he's headed to Claire's to get his ears pierced. You guys go ahead. I'll meet you at Chess King. This is what keeps happening with Trump. Republicans just assume he's done and that someone else will take him down, but no one actually does it, and it's happening all over again right now as Trump kicks off his 2024 campaign. In a new article about the GOP's refusal to take on Trump directly, one GOP consultant said it's like 2016 all over again, only more fatalistic. Another Republican who ran Marco Rubio's 2016 campaign said, there's an old quote, when your enemy is in the process of drowning, throw him a brick. None of Donald Trump's opponents ever have the balls to throw him the damn brick. They just hope someone else win. Hope isn't a winning strategy. It doesn't even have to be that heavy of a brick. If Donald Trump were actually in the water, I'm pretty sure all it would take is to throw him a pebble to sink him. You could throw him a pillow even, though not on my pillow. That thing is probably heavier. That's like 50 bricks. You try to sleep on one of those, you immediately
wake up.
And it's not just... it should be an alarm on your phone. I'm just saying. Just put it on Lindell in the morning. You're gonna wake up. It's not just Republicans. Even prosecutors are punting when it comes to Trump. A new book has revealed that days before Trump left the White House, federal prosecutors in New York discussed whether to potentially charge Trump with campaign finance crimes once he was out of office. Prosecutors from the Southern District of New York developed significant evidence against Trump, but decided not to seek an indictment of him because Trump's other scandals made the campaign finance violations seem somehow trivial and outdated by comparison. They're all just waiting for someone else to do it. It's like when you're at a family party and Aunt Janet has one too many gin and tonics, and everyone knows and is just hoping someone else will intervene and tell her to put the glass down, but then no one does it, and she ends up telling the entire family about the exact time and location your cousin was conceived. Your Uncle Stu wasn't exactly romantic. We were at a Motel 6 in Niagara Falls, but they didn't have any rooms. So we just went back to the station wagon, and 9 months later, boom, happy birthday to Kaylee. Did I make it? Did I say a bad thing? So that's how we got to where we are now, with Trump, a guy who fomented a coup to overthrow American democracy, making official campaign stops in early primary states, even as prosecutors and his fellow Republicans just sit on their hands waiting for someone else to stop him. The parallels with 2016 are so eerie, we're even getting Trump doing the same silly sound effects he did during his first campaign, like when he told this random story in New Hampshire that I couldn't even follow about being on Air Force One.
So we're landing, we're getting 700. I say, so Captain, I say, sir, it's fine. And so 600, 500, 400. Then he goes 300. So now we're 300 feet over, which is nothing. And Captain, we're okay, right? Yes, yes, sir. And then all of a sudden, 200, 100. I just closed my eyes. Bing, bing, boom, land, perfect.
Wait, that sounds so familiar. Oh, God, no. No, it can't be happening again.
Bing, bing, bong, bong, bing, bing, bing.
Don't you see what's happening? Donald Trump has created a time loop. We're all being sucked back into the year 2016.
Bing, bing, bong, bong, bing, bing, bing.
2016. They better not make me wear a suit again. Look at that. Look at that beautiful baby boy. Trump is just up there as if he never once incited a coup or oversaw one of the most disastrous, chaotic, corrupt presidencies in American history. He's even freely taken shots at his main rival, Ron DeSantis. No one in the GOP seems to care. In fact, Trump spent all weekend going after DeSantis, calling him disloyal if he runs, while he was on his campaign plane, flying from one stop to the next.
So Ron would have not been governor if it wasn't for me, and that's okay. Number one, he wouldn't have gotten a nomination. And number two, he wouldn't have beaten his Democrat opponent. So then when I hear he might run, I consider that very disloyal, but it's not about loyalty. But to me it is. It's always about loyalty. But for a lot of people, it's not.
Okay, first of all, so psyched we're back to Trump doing press conferences in places where we can barely hear him. You need to speak up, dude. I can't believe I'm saying this, but take a cue from Mike Lindell. Also, you think Trump's insults are bad now? Wait until he sees that picture of DeSantis in his fancy white boots. It's a real picture. Can you imagine what Trump is going to say once he sees that picture of DeSantis? It's not fair. Many people are saying Ron stole those fancy little boots from the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. And he should give them back. It's not nice. Those poor cheerleaders, they have nothing to wear now. They have to cheerlead, and their bare feet, so sad. So many turns. There were so many people who had the power to stop Trump and make sure we didn't have to live through this nightmare all over again. For one thing, Republicans could have convicted him during his impeachment trial and disqualified him from office. Instead, they're just sitting on their hands quietly hoping he'll magically disappear, a strategy that failed in 2016. If Republicans don't take on Trump directly, he could very well tear through them like he did in 2016, and if he does, it'll sound like this.
Bing, bing, bong, bong, bing, bing, bing.
This has been a closer look.